Okay, review for the test. Your test's only 5 problems. It's because we have an early dismissal. So you're simplifying. It's basically all about simplifying square roots. So when you get this to use, obviously you're going to need it. You're only concerned about this square here. So is 50 in the bubble? If it is, you have your answer instantly if you just look up and sideways. But 50 is not here, so I put divided by. And then we start dividing. Now, the first number lower than 50 is 49. So you go 50 divided by just like it says. 49, nope. So now move on to 36. Nope. Now move on to 25. Yep. Now, look at what I have here. Is there a number in front right here? Nope, I don't see anything, so I just write 2 square roots. Okay, now I replace 50 with 25 and 2. And then we always ditch the first square root because I can see what that equals. 5, 5. So that's a 5. Now, I did not have a number here. See where my pencil's at because there's no number in front. So you have your answer. It's 5 square roots of 2. Okay, the square root of 75. Is 75 in the perfect square row? Nope. So I put divided by, and now I start taking the 75 divided by. Punch that into your calculator. By 64, nope, hit up. Now you go to 49. Nope. Go to 36. Nope. Go to 25. Okay, that worked out. So, do you have a number here? No, you don't. So you just go to your 2 square roots. And you go 25 and 3. Okay, 25, I just had that up there. So 5 and 5. So you replace this with the integer 5. And that's your answer, 5 square root 3. Don't multiply 5 and 3. If there's a number out here that you have to write down, then you multiply 5 by that. But you don't do anything with this. Okay, 2 square root of 18. Well, let's look at forget the 2 for a second. 18, is that in my little bubble here? Nope. That's a 16, too, by the way, not an 18. It goes 1, 4, 9, 16. Okay, 25. Okay, so I put divided by, and I put 18 divided by, just like that. So by 16, nope. Delete the 1, and you replace the 6 with a 9. Okay, that works. So, but unlike these two, now I have a coefficient here, this 2. All you do is write the 2 down, and then you make your 2 square roots. Put a time sign 2 right here. And then you replace that 18 with 9 and 2. And you do exactly what you're doing there. You get rid of the first square root because 9's in the bubble. 3, 3. Now, you need to actually take 2 times 3 here. The square root of 2 stays, okay? I just write that square root of 2, but I need to multiply these 2 numbers in, okay? 2 times 3 is 6. So I have 6 square roots of 2. Okay, next one, 8 square root of 108. So the square root of 108, is that in here? Well, nope, it's not. So I hit divided by. And then punch in 108 divided by 100. Nope. Now you need to delete the 1 and go over the zeros with 81. Nope. 64. Nope. 49. Nope. 36. Yep, got it. Okay. So you have to remember this 8 is here, though. So before you write your 2 square roots, you need to write the 8 times and then the square roots. So again, you are going to replace that 108 with 36 and 3. And you get rid of the first one because 36, the square root of 36 is, well, it's 6 times 6. So the square root of 36 is 6. So I write my square root of 3, and then I need to multiply the 8 and the 6. So I take 8 times 6, and that gives me 48. So I have 48 square roots of 3. Okay, now the next page. Okay, the dot in the middle, that means multiply. That means you're going to do step 1, 2, and 3. Okay, that's how you multiply square roots. So step 1, what you do is you circle the outer numbers, both of them, 5 and 3. See those numbers here? I'll circle them in red if you need. Okay, you times those. Okay, 5 times 3 is 15. Then cross those out, and then you need to open up a square root, and you need to multiply 5 and 15. It's that easy. 75. Now you're to where you want to be. So you see if 75 is in the square root bubble, and it's not, so you hit divided, you punch in divided. You go 75 divided by 64. Doesn't work. Now 49 doesn't work. 36 doesn't work. 25. Okay, that does work. Now you're going to write that as 2 square roots down here, but your 15 you just write down. Okay, you drop that straight down, and then you rewrite that in 2, and then you write your 2 square roots. Whenever there's a number in front of the square root, you write that down before you write your 2 square roots. Then we replace 75 with 25 and 3. Okay, and we need to ditch the first square root because that has an equal. It's equal to 5. So I write my square root of 3 down, and then I multiply these two. 15 times 5. 75. So it's 75 square roots of 3. Okay, another multiplying. Again, it's pretty cookie cutter process once you understand it. Okay, so first I take 6 times 3 because those are my outsides. So I have a product of 18. Then I forget about those. And then I open up my square root and I take 8 times 6. That's 48. Okay, now remember, 48 is the number and this is the square root. Square root of 48. It's 48, it's not in the bubble, so I divide. Remember, 48 is the number we're dividing into. 36 is the first smaller number. Nope, didn't work. Now try 25. Nope, doesn't work. Try 16. Okay, you got it to work. Now, before you write your 2 little square roots, you got to remember you have a factor of 18 here. Then you write your 2 square roots. Because 48 is going to be replaced with 16 times 3. The square root of 16 times the square root of 3. Okay, and then again, like always, when we do that, we ditch the square root of 16 because that's equal to 4. So I have my square root of 3. That isn't going to change. But here, since I have these 2 outside numbers, we need to multiply those. So 18 times 4 is 72. So I have 72 square roots of 3. Okay, another multiplication. Wherever you see the multiplication operator right there between the square root expressions, you're doing 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what are we up to first? Well, we're going to take 10 times 3, that's 30. And then cross those out, and then we open up the square root where we multiply the 10 by the 2, which is 20. Okay, here's my square root number, 20. Again, remember, when I'm doing step 2, I'm just worried about the 20, because that's the number in the square root. That's the square root you're trying to simplify. So here's 20. First number smaller than 20 would be 16. So we take 20 divided by 16, and that doesn't work. Then delete that. 20 divided by 9 doesn't work. 4 and 5. Okay, so again, before you write your 2 square roots down, you have to be aware of the fact that you do have a factor of 30, and then we will write that into 2 square roots. Okay, 4, 5, and rewrite it in that order too, because then you'll always be able to get rid. You always know you're getting rid of the first one and replacing it with the square root of 4 is equal, which is 2. Okay, so the square root we have left is 5, and then I take 30 times 2. 30 times 2 is 60. Okay, last one of these, and then we're on to the last page. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, again, that times is why I'm doing the 1, 2, 3. I got 16 times 3. 48. Then we open up our square root and we take 7 times 14. I got 98. Remember, this is the square root we're trying to simplify. 98 is. So 98 is not in the bubble. The first number I come across that's less than 98 is 81. So decimal. Did not get a decimal there, so before I write my 2 square roots, the first thing we should do is drop the 48. Then rewrite your 98 as 2 square roots, and you rewrite it as 49 times 2. Okay, so since 49 is in that bubble, because it's a perfect square, what's the square root of it? It's 7. Okay, so the square root I have remaining is the square root of 2, and then I multiply the 49 by the 7. 48 by 7, my bad, 48, not 49. So that's 336, so I got 336 square roots of 2. All right, now the game has changed, because now you got a plus operation. Plus operations, you need to draw a table, and you need to put each expression on each half. So 5 square root of 45 and 6 square root of 20. And then you try to simplify them separately. So again, these are the square root numbers. So 45, not in the bubble. So I start dividing into the 45. Okay, so 45 divided by 36 doesn't work. By 25, nope. By 16, nope. Then I'm going to 9, so I delete the 1 and just put 9. And I got 5. Okay, now there is a 5 in front, so we drop that. And then I write my 2 square roots. 45 is rewritten as square root of 9, square root of 5. Then I simplify exactly the same way. This is replaced with its equal of 3. So we have the square root of 5, and then what goes in front? Well, I got to take 5 times 3. That's 15. Okay. Now you're not done. You have to get an answer here. That's for an answer, but we'll deal with that here in a second. Actually, your answer, put a square root. You're going to need that for sure. Okay, and then the square root of 20. Well, 20 is not in the bubble, so I divide into 20. First number lower than 20 is 16. Didn't work. Now go to 9. Didn't work. Now go to 4. Cha-ching. Okay, so I have to drop that 6 down first, and then I rewrite the square root of 20 as 4, 5. Okay, then you ditch him, and that's now 2. So you got the square root of 5 just like you have over here. Now to figure out the coefficient, you take the 2 that came out of there times 6. That's 12. Now, here's your answer. What you have done is you have got the numbers under the square. Look at the, just forget these. Don't you have the same thing? You do, 5. So put a 5 in there, and then what you do is you plus the outside numbers. You take 15 plus 12, and that's 27. Okay? That's always what you're looking for when you're adding them. See, adding, you're going to make your table. And then you put 5 square root 28, 6 square root 63. And what we're looking for, again, the idea is to get a square root with a number outside. All right, so, and the square roots have to be the same for you to be able to do this. All right, so 28, not here, so I divide into the 28. Okay, 28 divided by 25. Doesn't work. Divided by 16. Nope. Divided by 9. Just delete that and put 9. Nope. And then 4 better work. It does. So first you drop your factor of 5, and you rewrite the square root of 28 as the square root of 4 and the square root of 7. So you ditch the square root of 4, and that's 2. So you have the square root of 7, and then you take the 2 times 5. You can do that because now that's not a square root number anymore. 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, and then the next one, the other one, 63, is not here. So I take 63 divided by 49. It's not working out. Then 36. Nope. Then 25. Then 16, then 9, you just delete the 1 and go 9. Okay, that did work. So first I drop my 6 before I worry about what I'm putting in my 2 square roots, and I'm replacing 63 with 9 by 7. And 9 is 3 and 3, so that's 3. So again, like over here, I have the square root of 7, which is good. To find the coefficient, I take 3 times 6, or 6 times 3. It doesn't matter the order you times 2 numbers. Okay, so I got the same square root. So 7's going in here, and to find the outside, we need to plus the 10 and the 18, because that's when I get to the plus. 10 plus 18 is 28. So 28 square root 7. Okay, next one, adding. Get that table drawn. So you have 2 square root 20 and 3 square roots of 180. And your job is to get 1 square root with a coefficient outside. Okay, so again, 20 is not in the bubble, so I'll divide into that. 20 by 16, we'll see if that works. It doesn't. Okay, now 20 divided by 9. Nope. Divided by 4. Okay, cha-ching. So again, you drop your 2 before you, and then you draw your 2, make your 2 square roots, and then you replace the 20 that was there with 4 times 5. Okay, and we can always get rid of the first square root because that has an equal. 2. So you have the square root of 5 out the behind, and then 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, now let's talk about our 180. So 180 is way down here. It's not in the bubble, so we divide into the 180. So 180 divided by 169, nope. By 144, nope. Nope. 100, nope. Delete and go 81, nope. You got to be patient when doing this. 64, nope. Worst thing that can happen is you just go to get to 1. 49, nope. 30, okay, there we go, sweet. So I drop the 3, and I rewrite that as 2 separate square roots and replace it with 36 by 5. Okay, and again, the square root of 36 is 6. Okay. So I have the square root of 5, just like I have over here, so that's good. Then I take 3 times 6. That's 18. Okay, so what do you have in each square root? You have a 5. And then you plus the outsides. Why do you plus? Well, because that's the operation you have. You've rewritten this as 4 square root of 5. You've rewritten that as 18 square root of 5. Well, now you have nothing but square root of 5. You have 4 plus 18, so you have 22 of them. Okay, then the last one, you got 10 square root 27 and 7 square root 12. Okay, so again, the square roots are different. We need to make them so they're the same, so I will be able to put just one of them in there. So 27 is not in the bubble, so I start dividing into that. So I'd start with 25. Didn't work. I'll go to 16. Didn't work. Now go to 9. Just delete the 1 and put 9. That does work. You need to drop the factor of 10, and then before you write your 2 square roots. Now, if that 10 or any other number is not there, you just write the 2 square roots. So you got 9, 3. And 9's here, and that becomes just 3. So the square root number we have is 3, and I take 10 times 3, which is 30. Okay, and what's going on here? Well, 12 is not in the bubble, so I divide into 12. It's not a very big number, though, so I should be able to find it kind of quickly. So I divide 12 by 9. Nope. By 4. Yup. So you drop your 7, and then you rewrite your 2 square roots. 4, 3. Okay, and then we take 7 times 2, that's 14, and you still got your square root of 3. So I have the same square root number, so I put 3 here. Now you're like, well, what if those numbers aren't the same? Then what do? You screwed up the problem somehow, because to add, you have to get the same number at the end. And then that allows you then to plus 30 and 14. 30 plus 14 is 44.